Well, we're not about replacing people. We're about providing, the automation of what are the insights, what is the clarity that an operator needs to understand how they can operate the best restaurant more efficiently.
At the 28th ICR conference in Orlando, Florida, the focus is on growth and innovation. Here to share more is David Cantu. He is the CEO of Craftable. It's a Texas-based hospitality management platform. David, welcome.
Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
So what is Craftable?
So we're intelligent restaurant back office solution, offering ordering, AP automation, inventory, and recipe management.
So in practice, what does that look like? If I'm a customer of Craftable, what services are you providing to me?
So think anything coming into the restaurant, anything that was ordered. So where that orders system to where we have all the SKUs of where they can order, whether that be food or it could be liquor, beer, wine, any of their drinks, in addition to paper goods, all the supplies. We are also the receiving mechanism to where we capture invoices. We call it AP automation, to where taking a snapshot, leveraging AI and an agent, we're taking this regular format, turning it digital, embedding that directly into the general ledger, where these brands have full visibility into their real-time food cost.
And I hear you saying that you're innovating by using AI, new technology. How do you stay true to the core of your business, which is hospitality, while continuing to innovate with technology?
Well, we're not about replacing people. We're about providing, the automation of what are the insights, what is the clarity that an operator needs to understand how they can operate the best restaurant more efficiently. Now, I would love to say that we're going to teach them hospitality, but those are part of the things that they love and they grow up. I was a restaurateur for a long time, so loved providing great meals, great service with hospitality. What we teach them is really more on the financial side. Like, where is their potential loss, waste? Where are they overspending? Where could they possibly even have pricing adjustments to where everything purchased, capturing, we're flagging it if it's off of their normal price, to where we can take that all the way through the recipe items straight to the plate cost. So they understand if certain dishes or drinks have a lower margin based on something recently purchased.
Do you have any statistics around how this is helping restaurants' bottom line?
So typically, right now, so the margins is probably the biggest challenge that restaurateurs face today. A lot of them keep focusing on taking price, but the median margins right now for full service restaurants is about 2.8%, 4% based on fast casual restaurants. So with that, you think about your two highest controllable expenses, food cost and labor cost, runs around 65 to 68%. Outside of that, there's paper goods, there's chemicals, there's linen, there's utilities, there's comps, there's a tremendous amount of other waste that are occurring. So they didn't have visibility prior to this before. They usually have food and labor, but we're allowing them to see where cost is leaking. Like, where are they losing by showing variances? So typically, most back office will claim 2 to 3%. With us, because we're going beyond food and labor, our focus is on 3 to 5% savings that we're seeing most of these restaurants. Now, it takes discipline and practice on, how they manage the day-to-day, but we give them the tools, we give them the insights of what they need to understand where that focus or where that leakage is, whether it be Tito's vodka or ribeyes, where they understand where they may be losing on a specific item. They may be walking out the door or may be wasted due to spoilage by over-ordering. That's the kind of clarity we'll give these operators.
How much waste do restaurants see on average per year?
Ooh. Well, let me tell you, like the industry waste, I think it's somewhere around 20 to 25 billion pounds of waste in restaurants. So typically waste is probably anywhere, 4 to 8% is what they may see on their specific food. But like 20 billion pounds of waste it can feed 7 million people for a full year. So waste is pretty dramatic through the restaurant. Again, this is over ordering, over portioning, things that, just end up in the trash.
And what has your growth trajectory been since you took the helm at Craftable?
I've been on 6 months, so I wish I could say 150%. But Full excitement. We are continuing to see we're double-digit growth, and we have been double-digit growth for the past 3 years. And as far as us, really, our focus is continuing. We're not just in restaurants in the restaurant industry. We're in restaurants and hotels, but we're also supporting hotels' entire procurement to pay. So it's the two industries we're serving. But we are private. I can tell you that we're pleased on where we're growing, but we still have a lot more room to grow.
And what is your hope for the growth trajectory for 2026, and how do you plan to get there?
This for us. We are known for, I would say, these really chef-inspired, chef-driven, high culinary, high mixology type brands. We're really focused on taking this up market to more of the single brand, multi-unit chains. Mo Betta's is a customer of ours. Savory Fund. We work with all of their brands and restaurants. We're looking for that high growth. So I would say even specialty side, we're doing a lot of work with some great coffee companies out there. We're really focused on growth brands that see innovation as the next frontier, because they want to install a technology and not think about it. They just want to scale and grow. We want to be that partner with them. So we're pretty bullish about this year. There's a lot of innovation and development as we think of the entire workflow from procurement to pay, and we're implementing that throughout the course of the next 4 quarters in our roadmap.
And how do you differentiate yourself from other similar platforms?
A lot of what back office typically is a retrospective. I consider it's usually you're looking at analytics and you're looking at what did I do last month in sales, or what did I do in terms of food cost. So it's a rearview mirror. The way I look at us, we're more like a GPS of what's coming ahead, what you need to be aware of. So we're giving greater visibility so they can make intelligent decisions knowing what's ahead versus trying to say, what was our food cost? Because when it's 30 days later and you're trying to figure it out, it's hard for you to go back and figure out what specifically you need to adjust. Where's their waste? Where's their leakage? Is it on the food side? Is it on the bev side? Is it on linens, utilities? Those are the things we want: instant, real-time, closed loop, decisions made, adjustments made.
So you're helping your clients be proactive rather than reactive.
Absolutely. What restaurateurs, they're busy. They have to make 1,000 decisions in a day. And they don't have time to sit in an office, go and review analytics. Corporate office doesn't have time to sit on a phone call or drop them an email. They're on the go. They need to understand what's in my cooler, what am I going to run out of, what do I need to order for tomorrow, what waste do I have. Those are the things that we are there to make their job easier so they can focus on what they really care about: serving guests and hopefully getting them to come back again and again.
And practically speaking, what is the platform like? What can people do on it?
They can forecast their sales trend. They can order what they need to order, not what they'd like to order. A lot of times managers, I always kind of think of it like a blank check. If I have the ability to run a kitchen and I can determine where I want to go without really understanding how to negotiate, you really don't know the impact that has with your plate cost. Usually that's a 3-month research to try and figure it out, but every invoice that comes in, price is fluctuating and changing. Commodity prices have changed based on supply chain, based on labor, based on economic conditions, where we've seen anything from the egg prices going up from the avian flu, from not having enough produced. So those are the things they're not aware of. So today, those are all the things that they can do: order, capture invoice, immediate, not having to do manual entry at the end of the night, and have greater visibility into what's on hand and what they may run out of.
Have you seen inflation impact the bottom line of restaurateurs?
Yes, I have. Because here's what they do. It's like, so I spent 3 years at Black Box Intelligence, and all the data showed us that a lot of brands were taking price because they had to. There was wage inflation. There was obviously, inflation, commodity prices gone up. So everybody's continued to take, I think it's probably around 30% price increase over the past 5 years since the pandemic. Now, there's only so much to where that price, while you may see sales go up, traffic has continued to decline. Traffic has continued to decline since 2016, 2%. So could you imagine that the only way to capture, margins or top line sales, you got to do one of two things. You got to either raise price, or you got to find ways to be more profitable. The brands that have figured it out, and you might find some of the best brands. I always follow like Darden or Texas Roadhouse. You know, they have strong financial acumen within their leadership. They're not the ones that are taking price a lot of the times. They maintain that price, and they're seeing more traffic come in. They're really focused on traffic, you know, not price necessarily.
All right, and what can we expect from Craftable in 2026?
Well, what I'd hope for is that, you know, you would see Craftable more in this mid-market enterprise as we continue to evolve on the technology. And, you know, for us, we're going to keep pushing the envelope on AI to provide more clarity, to provide more insight to where these managers can make smarter decisions. I really want to help the industry evolve on building the financial acumen, not just the hospitality and culinary side. I think when we can have a well-rounded leader in these restaurants, the likelihood of their success is far greater, and we want to be that partner.
All right, David Cantu, CEO of Craftable, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure. Thank you.